Hello, everybody, and welcome. My second attempt at entertaining you all, and hopefully I shall enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first one. Good to see a number of you coming along. My computer's just telling me that I'm on, which is jolly nice of it. I'll just go bring Keith up as my earworm. Here he is. Hello, Keith.
Hello, Andy. Sorry, I was just trying to mute.
Oh, I've got to turn my. I've got to turn my phone off. Right, I've turned my phone off. I muted the sound, and it was still coming out. So
yeah, well, I was muting one and picking it up on the other one. But, yeah, welcome, Andy, for your second one. Hopefully, you'll get as good a response as you did last time.
I hope so. Yes, thanks to everybody for the comments. They were absolutely lovely, and it does make it feel very much worthwhile to be appreciated like that. So I do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Okay, I'll put you back in the background, Barry. Keith, I mean, if you could tell us who's in.
I'm going to hide.
There you go.
Right, do you want to just let people know what you're doing before I take over the chat?
I can do that.
You can get set up then.
Yep, we're doing a platter. And I know I said last week that I like doing spindle work. We're not doing spindle work today because I like doing platters as well, inspired by Stuart Farini, needless to say. And there have been a lot of platters made recently with texture and all the rest of it on, and they're all done freehand with a fairly wild sort of pattern. So I thought I'd go the other way and do a fairly structured pattern. And if I can find the right camera, which I can do, I know I can. It is that one there.
We have the technology, it's just making it work.
Oh, there we are. Get that one out of the way. Right, this is the headstock camera. Yep. So that's what we're aiming to achieve. I'm not going to do the same colouring exactly. I'm going to use the same colours, but do them the opposite way round, just as a matter of interest to compare the two, so that it's a very structured, very regular pattern. 36 of those around there, using the register on the computer, obviously, and that's what we shall end up with, I hope, at the end of the afternoon. So let's get on. I've got a piece of ash on the computer. There it is.
Probably the lathe is better, Andy, if you use that, not the computer.
Sorry, on the lathe. Yeah, there's probably a better place for it. Yeah, you're quite right. It's not a bad piece of ash. Actually, I can see that's got it. There was a piece there that was going to fall off, and it has done. Otherwise, that could have speared me. So the bit there, that's not going to interfere with anything. The rim of the platter is going to be about halfway, roughly just above halfway, not where those pencil lines are, which you can't see anyway. So that's all right. So let's get the tool rest up and start turning.
Right, while you do that, I'll run through the list of participants. Now, hopefully I'm not going to miss anyone, but if I do, I apologise. I can only read out who's on the list. So starting at the top, funny enough, it's Andy H, because he always comes up first. Yeah,
that could be my wife, of course.
No, it was you.
Oh, me, okay.
Yeah, Barry Chitty, Brent Beecroft, Christine and Michael Hesseltine, Clive Rogerson,
hello.
Dave Deadman from Club, David Miller, Doug Miller, Duncan the Curly Turner, Barber, Gerard the French Turner, Lawrence Bugasia, Mark the Gentleman, Oliver Reed, Oscar Anderson, Ray Goodwin. Now I know
that's
your
nephew,
nephew. Yeah. Robert Dolman, Terry Hooper, another club member.
Yep.
Tom Copus and Trevor P. So let's get out of that. And if I've missed anyone, I do apologise. If you have a question for Andy, can you prefix your question with either the word question or a couple of question marks so that I can hopefully pick it up? And that camera's glitching a bit, Andy.
Is it?
Yep. It's flashing every so often, but it's not.
I'll change it to another one.
It's not uncontrollable at the moment, so you're okay. Wood Wizardry by Collins in. Don't think I caught him earlier on. So thank you all for coming over and watching Andy and poking up with me in your ear.
But, that one should be all right. It's flickering a bit, but it should be all right. I'm getting some new cameras, so things will improve.
Robert at Hodgepodge has popped over to see you from the other side of the pond.
Thank you, Robert. Pleased to see you.
So I noticed there was a couple of new names in here as I read through. I'll probably pass a comment in a minute and it'll all become apparent.
I'll shake it a bit.
What about the wood?
Oh, come on. It's my phone.
I can hear it.
Yeah. She's answered it now, so we're all right.
Well, this could be interesting because at the moment, YouTube is 20 seconds behind StreamYard.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't make life easier, does it?
No. And I don't think I can mute myself in StreamYard and carry on a conversation. I've got to mute myself in YouTube, haven't I?
Yeah.
Chris Dodd's saying I've not been called new in a long time. I wasn't always talking to you, Chris, but there you go. Karen Dolman's in. Hi, Karen.
Some of this timber's a lot harder than other bits. You can hear it knocking as it's going past.
Mark's commenting it always is.
Ash is a bit like that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Ian Leonard's just woken up and pulled in. You've got 36 watching you, Andy.
Well, that's not bad for a starter. It's about halfway there. So I want to go to there. That'll be my room, I think. Which, of course, you can't see because I'm not on that camera, am I?
No, we can see it.
Oh, can you? Oh, good.
Yeah, you can see enough of it anyway. So I need to mute. I've muted StreamYard. Hang on. You can mute YouTube and watching StreamYard. Okay. Yeah, so the chat's going to be quite a lot slower than what you guys are actually seeing it then. But it does make sense now, doing it this way around. Thanks, Mark. Lawrence is saying cover your keyboard, mate, before you can't use it.
That's probably a good idea, yeah. Thank you. Glad somebody's watching. Right, that tool is getting quite hot, so I'm going to swap to that one. Bigger beast. Apart from that, and my glasses, apart from that, everything is fine. Just falling apart.
Age.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, I'd like a bigger monitor, Mark. Mine's quite small. I'm just going to grab some glasses so I can read the chat.
That's age as well.
Yeah, but StreamYard chat is quite a bit smaller than YouTube chat. That's why I went over to there.
Yeah, I've got StreamYard on at the moment. So
yeah. Steve from SK is in.
All right, hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve. Lunchtime, mate.
It's 59, isn't it? No, it's not. It's more than that, isn't it? Oh, it's there. Stupid idiot. It's that much. Just mark where that's coming, and I can get it right. Hopefully.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. We live in hope. Well, at least I used to when I was at college, because the pub down at the end of the road was with the Hope.
Oh, the Hope, yeah.
So we regularly
lived in hope. Who the manager was down there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Can't think of his name now, but I knew him.
I can't remember. I mean, I'm going back. God, 1968, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh,
He slung me out more than once.
Yeah.
I'll get a bit more speed out of it. Yeah, it's better. What have I done with it? There it is.
Sidley 61 has just woken up and found you.
I caught it.
You caught it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's still there as well.
Good old Les Thorne taught me, told us about it many years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. He was the instigator of it, I think.
All right. One day I shall make myself a little tool like you've made, but in the meantime, Skew does it. Skew does it quite well. Right, that's that. Then I shall take the foot to there. I know you don't tend to put feet on, do you?
Don't need to on those.
No, I know.
If you've got a recess.
I quite like the shadow line underneath. Which is really why I've done it. And then of course you go and take away all the timber and there's no shadow line left. But hey, the thought was there. Because the wings on this are sweeping down, to turn downhill, I've got to go from either side, basically, so that is turning downhill. That's getting there. Nice delicate cut.
Barry's in. Barry in the shed.
All right.
Welcome, Barry.
Yeah, there's so many Barrys on there now. A bit like Andy's. Yeah. Many of us.
And Collins and Steve's.
The other Barry is Barry the Wood Craftsman, isn't he, or something? Which I always get slightly embarrassed about calling him Barry the WC.
Mm.
But nobody's complained yet. Let's give this a little scrape. That's better. Round it off a touch.
Got a question from Chris Dodds. Andy, how long have you been turning?
Depends what you count as turning, really. When I was at college training to be a woodwork teacher, I obviously did some turning. And that was back in 1969-70. So if you count that, it's sort of 50 years. But I then did little odd bits throughout my working life whenever I could, but really took up wood turning seriously as a retirement thing when I was 67, which is 6 years ago. So but I was learning all the time, obviously. So you can't put a price on experience, really, but yeah.
So you've done quite a bit since lockdown. That's really sort of kicked you into do a bit more, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've been living out here in my workshop, yeah, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, I'm going to give this a quick sand, particularly the middle bit, because I can get to the rest of it later if I need to, because I can turn it round on the lathe in the chuck. I'm a bit quaint. I don't mind hand sanding.
Not that much anyway, is there?
No, I'm only going to do the foot really, and just a bit of the bottom of the bowl. The rest of it set up on the lathe, and because it's difficult to wear masks and things with the microphone on headset, it's I shall leave the rest to be done later. That's what's that, 180.
Curry Hooper, one of our club mates, has just made a comment. Back in the late 60s, there seemed to be a lot of girls called Terry at his local Orchard dance hall.
Yeah, I was at school with somebody called Terry. She was gorgeous.
So Brent Beecroft's put a few question marks in. Oh, yeah, to all. Okay, it's all right. I've got the rest of the question now. Any suggestions for turners who do IRDs for clubs? That's interactive remote demos for clubs. Well, I think from that one, Brent, if I can answer that to start with, you need better quality cameras than the basic webcams. I know Andy's got quite a good picture on his at the moment, and I can generally get a reasonably good one on mine, but you need other parts to the equation, like a stream deck or a portal. to be able to zoom in and out and focus better. So whether that can be done on webcams is another thing.
Quite a few are doing. I mean, Stuart does some. Martin Saban-Smith does some, and I'm sure lots of the others do as well.
I know Martin's got massive cameras, though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's got proper
he's
video
just got
cameras.
A new setup. Yeah, and I mean, I imagine Oliver probably what's his name, Sir Ed Oliver probably does. He's just got a new setup, hasn't he?
He's got new cameras, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, but there are a lot doing, because of course they're missing out on their income at the moment. So I'm sure they will be. Right, I'm going to do a little bit around the rim and then leave it there, and we'll turn it over and start on the other side, the exciting bit. Just want to take that sharp edge off so I don't cut myself on it, if I'm honest. Right, that'll do for that.
Brent says his club is looking for names. So if anyone fancies doing an IRD or has got a list of members that do IRDs, get in touch with Brent. Or Brent, if you go onto the AWGB website or the Institute of Registered Professional Turners, I can't think of the correct name of it now. You can find quite a few on there. Register of Professional Turners, isn't it? RPT. Yeah, because that's what Les Thorne is. A lot of them are listed on there now. And I'm pretty sure I looked in the AWGB magazine the other day, and it said something about a list in there. So there are sources are available.
Yeah, and I'm sure more and more are turning to it. So there shouldn't be any difficulty finding somebody to do it. Bit of sanding sealant just to protect it, but I should be finishing it properly later. Right.
There's a fair list in there of names come up. From various people.
Oh, I did that a bit big. Hey ho. Tools away after you.
Afternoon, Andy. Andrew. Wivey Woodshed.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, he's just came in. Yeah, there's quite a few recommendations on there for IRDs.
Right, yes, I'm sure there won't be a shortage.
No.
Of people who are happy to do it.
Steve from SK's got to go back to work.
Don't work too hard, Steve.
He's got to fund Nikki's expensive tastes.
Yeah, we all have to do that. Oh no, she's watching, isn't she? I shouldn't be saying that. Although I think my wife funds my habits, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, she is an ex-head teacher, so she's always earned more than I have.
Yeah, there's lots of recommendations coming in now, so
good.
You'll have to write them down, Brent. Go back through the technology and find them.
Nice to supply a service if you can, isn't it?
Christos just made a comment. He loves your brush in a jar technology.
It's a good old-fashioned way of doing it.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is just be careful if you're using a jam jar or a glass jar that you don't knock it over. I know down at the museum we're not supposed to have glass jars that have been refilled with anything like that can be knocked over.
Yeah.
So
mine lives above the lathe, and it's always there, so it never goes anywhere else. So I don't have a problem with that. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
If you can find a fairly big, wide-topped plastic bottle, that would be a better option.
So long as it's not affected by the
yeah, exactly.
That was the sanding sealant.
Yeah, next breath I was going to sort of take.
Because they can sort of soften, can't they?
Yeah, particularly if it's cellulose.
Yeah, which this is.
I think Ray Goodwin's made a comment on here to you, reference to Alison, and your wife is lovely.
He's scared of her, that's what it is.
Oh, right, okay.
So a standing family joke, that one.
Right, Paul Smith just crept in. Daniel DeBar's just crept in.
Hi, Daniel. That's getting there. Nice, reasonably thin rim.
It sounds thin on the rim.
Yes, it's nearly there now. I don't want to go too far because obviously I'm going to be taking chunks out of it, and I don't actually want to go through on this one.
No, you don't want to do a Steve, do you?
No. Yeah. He's gone now, so we can talk about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's getting somewhere near because I want to get to the exciting bit. Really, I'm just gonna round this over a bit more here. Right, so
Mole Valley Makers just turned up to see you, mate. Welcome.
Right. Yes, welcome indeed. What was that? That was 70mm, very nearly. See how that looks. 70mm there, takes us to there. About a 10mm rim on it. I think that'll be all right. Yeah, that'll do it. And I've quite deliberately got this shape on here on the rim to emphasize the shape of the cutouts when we get to that. I'm going to take a little bit more off. It's not quite balanced yet, but that's that one. And that'll be the rim just there. Yes, I need to get that. Can you see that? Not really. No. You can see it's rocking, but it's not rocking around the center. The center of it at the moment is right where my finger is. It needs to be just a bit further over. So I need to just take a little bit more off that. Since we're trying to go for a symmetrical look. That should be better, I think. Okay, nearly. That's better. I likes that. Just going to make these marks more permanent. Well, that one's all right. can't exactly miss that one. Right, quick little bit of sanding. At the moment it's not critical because this is all going to be removed as well afterwards, so just get the worst of it off, and then I'll sanding seal it because I want to be able to remove the wood. It's going to be a purple dye in the cutouts, which I want to be able to remove from the surface. So so I thought if I put some sanding sealants on there, I'm going to go acrylic simply because I can. That's it. I say this is not a finish as such, because there's still a lot more to do to it. Let's get rid of that out of the way before I knock it over and spread all my glass paper everywhere. Come on, dry. Wife's hairdryer. Had to buy a new one for Christmas just to get hold of that, but it worked. Right, okay. Now then, yes, cutting the grooves is the next thing. I want to have these, I don't want them to come radiating out from the centre. So I set the tool post about as high as I can get it, right up there. And you can see on that one, the result of that they're not radiating towards the centre. So they're going to be up here, and it needs to be the same distance away from that line. That's about 10 mil. That might be too much. That is 8 mil. So we'll just swing it around a little bit. 8. It's going for symmetry. It's such an unusual thing to do these days. I might have to move it closer yet, but we'll find out when I get the tool over. That's 8 mil. That's 8, 9. That's as near as will make no difference. Yep, it will make no difference. Right, get my Proxon. My trusty Proxon. Unplug the hairdryer. I need to get more sockets. That's the problem. Never have enough, do you?
No.
Right, what I'm going to do is to rest this onto the tool rest, and if you can see in there, there's quite a bit of wear where I've used it before, where that rubs against the back of the tool rest, but it does keep it running true. So it's going to run along there like that. That's not going to hit it soon enough, so I've got to go a little bit closer. It wasn't fixed down anyway, so it's a good job I checked that.
Andy Best has just popped in, says, afternoon all. Thoroughly enjoyed replicating last week's project, Andy. So thanks again for sharing. That's the sort of comments we like to have.
Absolutely, and I find that very, very flattering that people actually are doing that.
Yeah.
Right, we're 7 mil away each side now, so that should do
right,
it. Sorry,
so Brent's put a question into you. What blade are you using on the Proxon?
It's the, what do you call it? It's like a chainsaw blade. It's the Arbortech one, I think. I think I bought it with the Proxon, in fact, but it has these hooked teeth. I had about 3 of them, I think. Yeah, three of these. Or is it 6? 6. 6. What? Yeah, 3 each side. If you can, it's not easy to show you that, is it?
Yeah, you can see it there.
Can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the blade I use. I've got a couple of these. Are both identical. It rips wood out very, very quickly and reasonably cleanly, because I don't have to do a lot of glass papering with this. So here we go, and this is where you have to watch exactly what's hitting what, and it's a bit tedious, so it's going to take a little while.
You might want to mute yourself on this one, mate.
Yes, I probably will. I'll just...
So there's a question in here from Hodge to Mark. Or others that use Hampshire Sheen. What do you guys do to get rid of the residue that shows fingerprints after applying it? Just more buffing? Well, I would think my question for that, but I haven't used Hampshire Sheen wax, is you're putting too much on to start with.
Yes.
But more buffing will get rid of it.
Yeah, Mark's coming up with the same answer.
Yeah, don't use as much.
Well, I'm going to go off air now. I'm going to mute myself. So carry on without me.
Well, you should still be able to hear us anyway. We can talk about him now and he can't reply. Yeah, the consensus of opinion is you're putting too much on that for that Hodge.
The classic mistake. Wayne always says make sure you turn your lathe off if you're using the indexing thing. I just forgot, and I wondered why it wouldn't start. So I've now turned it off because you automatically go there to start instead of switching the Proxon on. So right, okay, I'll mute myself again. I like to show everybody.
So apparently there's going to be 36 of these little cutouts around there. So you've got to watch this 36 times. Hodge, are you holding your piece straight after you've buffed it up? Because if you are, the wax is possibly still too soft and you'll be picking up fingerprints that way. It's always awkward to give you a definitive answer without seeing you do it, but say the other thing is just don't press too hard and don't generate too much heat. You can take off more than you can put on at times if you do press too hard. Right, guys, nothing to do with what Andy's doing today at all, apart from both Andy and I belong to Amberley Museum. I'm one of the resident wood turners down there. Andy's section is more in the Tools and History Society down there, but we both meet each other down there, but we're also club members. The link that I've just dropped in is a link that if anyone's got any grandkids and they're doing, I believe it's KS1, the teacher assessment training thing, whatever it is they call it these days. There is a link to a virtual trip around the museum, which you can buy online. I don't know much more about it than that, but it gives you an indication as to what is available down there if you've got kids, and we've already run one from abroad apparently. So that's what that link I've just dropped in is. Hello, Baz. I see you've crept in while I was chatting and on the other screen. Barry says he doesn't see any link. Try that, guys. Sorry, I put it in and didn't hit the go button. So it should pop up now. Yeah, it is. And I believe going through that, it's a £40 charge for up to 30 kids, I believe it is. So it's quite a reasonable cost that you can do. You can explore from your own home or from the classroom. What's Terry put in there? I have a Padawan, and he's now got his partner turning pens. Don't see why not. Got to start somewhere, Terry. Nice and simple. Martin at Woody's Creations. Hopes we're all fighting fit. I don't know about fit, but we're still all breathing. So Barry, I think he was referring to me not getting it right the first time, only half doing it. Thanks, Barry. Yeah, something to do with age, mate, isn't it? So we discussed before going live that this was going to be the quiet bit of the demo today, and boring to some people, but it's got to be done. But it's nice to see it being done methodically rather than just random for a change. It does give quite a nice effect. You'll never be sane, Terry Hooper. You're too far gone for that, mate. So I'm guessing you all have subbed to Andy's channel. If you haven't and you enjoy what he's doing, please do that. And the same, would you hit the thumbs up button on the way through? If you hit the thumbs down, can you leave a comment as to why you've put the thumbs down? What do you think he needs to do to improve what he's doing and improve his presentation? How many marks or cut will that be? Apparently Rex is 36. I haven't counted them, but apparently that's how many there's going to be. And apparently I'm right on that. Yep. Let's got the quick thumbs up. So perhaps he's been listening in all the time. So perhaps good job I didn't say anything bad about him. You enjoyed that one, Terry. There's not many turners that will turn a pen with a shovel. I did the axe the other week on a live. Last one, I think. Yep, last one. No, Ben, Andy didn't want it to be random. He wanted it to be totally concentric and uniform. That's why he's decided to do it this way. Yeah, someone did complain about the shovel, Barry. He was the fireman that we had in that day, said it wasn't safe. And everyone boo-hooed him and said, "Well,
no, he wasn't. He was the grave digger. He couldn't work."
Yeah, no. When I used the shovel at club, someone moaned that it wasn't safe. And I said, "Well, you come round here and tell me why it's not safe." And he couldn't. He walked off. Then that looks good, mate.
Phew, it's there.
Yeah.
One or two a little bit narrow, but it won't matter too much. It's basically concentric, so that's really what I was after. I'm just going to rub that down, get rid of some of those fluffy bits. Where's me? There it is.
Chris, the axe might have looked scary, but in actual fact, it's safer than a skew because you've got more of it.
There are those who would say anything's safer than a skew.
Yeah. Even Mark, although he likes it for opening tins.
That'll do it. I've now got to put some colour into those bits that I've just cut out. So obviously I've got to get rid of all the sawdust in there.
So what are you using for colour?
It's the chestnut spirit stains. I'll show you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I should be putting the first lot on with an airbrush, and the second lot will be with a cloth.
Right.
There we are. It's nearly.
Yeah. Over your shoulder.
Very confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we are. Chestnut spirit stains, anyway. That's the yellow. I'm going to be using purple first, which I have more or less got set up. Right.
Douglas Munningham's in. He's sorry he's late.
Hello, Douglas. I'm not mean. I don't make you stand in the corner.
No.
Right, here we go. Let's. Hopefully this is not dried out. Shouldn't do. I used it yesterday, so. Dum 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 dum. Looks good. Okay.
Do it, Chris. It's a good laugh. It is safe, providing it's sharp. That's all you need to worry about. Nice sharp axe. Doesn't need to be the big one like I had. You can do it with a little a small chopper, small wood chopping axe.
Oh, put a bit much on there. Right, okay, that's that.
Yes, you've read it here, everyone. Mark's going to be doing it in a tutu next time. Yeah, that's the pole dancing, by the way. I think it was mentioned last night. Baz is going to go back to work. Thanks, Baz, for popping in.
Hi, Baz. It's been good to see you. Right, okay. Now I've just got to get the purple off the main body of it. I think it's going to be easier to do with the gouge than it is with glass paper.
Should paper off, shouldn't it?
It might do. It tends to clog it a bit, but then it's only a piece of glass paper. And let's try it and see.
So if the problem is with a gouge, you got to take it off and then sand it.
Yeah.
So it won't have gone in that deep, will it?
Shouldn't have done, because I did sanding seal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it clogs a little bit, but it's not the end of the world.
About 4 or 5p worth of paper there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give that a little bit more. Yeah. Get my Simon Hope box out. God bless him. Oh, come on. That's better. Helps you get it on the right speed, doesn't it?
Yeah, and not on hammer.
Yeah. You know, a lot of that clicking is the gearbox.
Yeah.
And I find if I run it in reverse, it stops it.
Right.
Run the drill in reverse, that is. Yeah, that clicking.
Yeah.
The gearbox. Run it the other way and it doesn't happen.
We got a torque setting on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll turn it on to put it onto drill, not onto the screwdriver. Then
no, it is on drill.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. That's the speed, which is on drill. Yep. Oh, it's on hammer now. Apart from that, it was close. I think that's probably. That's just about it. There's a little bit there which looks like a flaw in the timber, so that's all right. That's where I put too much on and it ran. That's fine. That's fine.
Are you going to leave that ring on there, or are you going to burn that ring, or how are you going to finish the edge? You're going to turn back to it.
When I've done the yellow, I'm going to turn that edge off.
Right.
Just deep enough to get rid of the yellow. That's all. And it'll show some of the ash because it's quite a nice piece of ash. So you'll have it showing in the middle, which I will take up and get rid of that ring as well. If you can see that, yes, you can. Just get rid of that ring and up to this one, so it's just natural timber with yellow around the purple.
Should look good.
That's my plan, and I think I'm going to leave it at that for the minute. I'm just going to blow. Put the other airbrush on. I have an airbrush that I use only for blowing dust around. Sits on here. Cheapy one it was. Never worked very well as an airbrush. Oh, hello. Why's that not working? Oh, because I haven't put that in. That's got it.
So the beauty of using the air gun compressor is that you've only got about 35 psi blowing the dust around, and not 85, 90 as you would in a normal compressor. So it's moving the dust, but it's not blowing it quite so far and far around the workshop.
It always feels safe. You know, you haven't got horrendous pressure coming out. And I tend to go over it with a brush afterwards as well, just to make sure. But yeah, there's no dust left on that, so that's fine.
David Miller's doing a runner. He's got to go back to work.
Bye, David.
Us all later.
Enjoy work.
Thank you, David.
I'm tempted. Yes, I have got some. I'm going to use a cloth for this. Well, a chestnut safety cloth. I shall be extravagant. Give the cat a goldfish. I just prefer the feel of fabric.
Make it a lot smaller. Quarter it before you start. It won't take so much. Won't waste so much in the cloth.
True. What, cut that? You mean?
Yeah, cut it into 4.
Scissors. It's all here somewhere. Just a question of knowing where it is. So if I cut that there.
You're doing an hammer now, you see. Should cut each of those quarters smaller as well.
I'm not that tight. I can't be bothered.
No, but you can waste a lot of dye in a big pad.
Yeah, and they're not cheap. These safety cloths,
No.
is it what they call them? Yeah, safety cloth.
Safety cloth, yeah.
I think it's about 10 quid for whatever I got there.
Which I 3 in a pack?
10 in a pack.
10 in a pack.
And I think I had 2 packs of it. So it's either a pound or 50p each, basically.
Yeah, Martin is saying you can cut it into 4 and you can get at least 30 out of that. Yeah.
I tend to be a little bit extravagant, I must admit. I don't worry too much about it because it's a hobby. I'm not trying to make a living.
We never will.
No, absolutely. There's no chance at all.
Never will. No.
I've done with that. I've had too many years of trying to make a living. Wasn't too good at it then, so
we've survived.
Absolutely. Right, so we'll just dab that on, try not to get it down, because I discovered this purple. I thought, oh, it's all right. I sprayed it on with the other one.
It goes brown.
Yellow, and it went brown.
Yeah.
It was awful. So I then had to take the whole lot off and do it like this. But hey, it's not a big hardship, is it?
It's toning, if anyone questions it.
Yeah, I've always done it with black, I suppose, before. And of course, you can spray straight over that. No worries. But it's this, the purple and the yellow make brown. But I'm not too worried about getting little bits into the holes, because that it won't make a great difference to it. In fact, it's looking quite nice, actually. I quite like that.
It looks quite effective that way round.
Yeah. We'll put the two side by side in a minute when I've finished it, or as far as I'm going to go, and just compare them. How are we doing for time?
3 minutes past 2.
Oh, that's all right. That's because we're getting
hour and 5, so that's not bad going.
Getting very close to the end, so no, that's good. That's about where we should be, isn't it?
Well, I knew for a start it wasn't going to be quite as quick as last week, but time isn't
with
the critical factor.
36 pieces to machine out. I'm afraid that takes time. No, that's nice. I like that. That's good.
And you've still got 42 watching you, so you can't be that far out.
We haven't bored everybody silly then.
No. Well, I believe it's 42. 41, 42.
Right, so I'm just going to turn that rim, turn the centre. I'll put a little bit of acrylic sanding sealant on there, just to sort of.
Is that dry enough, that dye?
I don't know. I'm going to dry it a bit. I did that on the other one. Put it on far too quickly, far too soon. Didn't like it at all. It was because I had it spinning as well. It was running all over the place. It's interesting.
Mark's just ordered his tutu for his pole dancing, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's all right then. That's nearly there.
And Gerard's saying, Andy, we are never bored with all of you, and you're live. It's our daily classroom. Yeah. Well, that's why we all do it.
It was a risk with the 36 pieces to machine out. It was a risk that people would get bored, but I'm glad you haven't done.
Yeah, and Terry's come back and says COVID means we can't do much anyway.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
That's better. That's looking lovely. Right, I'm only going to put a quick flash of this on. I'm not going to put a lot on because it will run. In spite of the fact it's acrylic and the colours are spirit. I think that'll do for that.
No
point overdoing it at all. Right, so that'll dry off very quickly, so I'm not worried about that.
Thank you, Gerard. You're not just necessarily thanking me, you're thanking everyone that does it. But
all right. And he goes away and tries things afterwards as well. I think it's lovely. So chuffed when he put the pictures on and then did another one after that of the eccentric candlestick.
Right.
I think it was lovely. Right, here we go. Let's do this bit first. I'll turn that up a bit. That's running nice and true, actually. Usually when you do this, you get one patch that doesn't quite catch. But no, that's come off nicely. A little bit there I saw somewhere. There. That's better. That'll do for that. I'm not going to waste a lot of time because I can sand this afterwards and finish it.
Yeah, but you're only an hour and 5 in.
Yeah. So we're doing all right.
Time.
Yeah, we're doing okay. Right, so that's nowhere near there.
But Gerard, most of the wood is still as wood. It's just that you've coloured some to highlight it. You're going to have the clear centre, and you can still see all the.
You can still see all the grain going through the pattern bit, which is nice because I like timber. I don't want to disguise it. I just want to enhance it.
Do it first, Gerard, and then take it in afterwards. Don't give her the chance.
Right, let's have a quick. I've got to use my depth gauge.
Oh, your new toy.
Yeah, Wayne's not in, is he?
No.
Unfortunately, because he'd be ever so impressed. Built out of anything that was kicking about. And I've still got 3/4 of an inch down there. But it does work. It works really easily. So you can't. Oh, you can just about see that, can't you? That gap.
You can see the gap.
Yeah. It's about 3/4 of an inch.
You don't want to go too deep, though, do you, on a small bowl like that?
No, I don't. And it's not anything to do with the thickness underneath. It's to do with the look of the bowl itself.
Yeah, it's the aesthetics from the top.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. I can go a little bit deeper and round the bottom. The bottom's a bit flat at the moment, so I'll round the bottom off a bit, and then I think that'll be it. Make the sides a little steeper. That should be better. This piece of wood is obviously completely out of balance, so I can still hear it trying to shake the lathe around.
But it's running through, so you're okay.
Oh yes, it's running through. There's just a tiny, tiny little blip in the middle. Nothing to worry about, but it'll soon be gone. That's better. Beautiful. Right, quick sand of that. We've got time, haven't we? So
got loads of time. You got 20 minutes yet.
Fine. Right. Turn that down a bit. I will get the Simon Hope passive, whatever they call it, sanding device.
Right.
One day. I've got the I've got the Sorby one, and I end up with brass shavings in with in with my sawdust. It's just wearing it down rapidly, and I don't like it. It doesn't spin very well, and I just have never liked it. I never got on with it. It's
Can you not take it apart and get it get a bearing put in there?
But you can see the slack in that, because that one used to be as thick as this one, and it's worn down by that much, and it's not worth it. It's not a good one at all. I bought it years ago. I used it a bit, but I don't anymore. I'd rather wear my fingers down. Oh, I haven't done this bit, have I? Ouch. That was warm. Right on the edge. Somebody's got a message.
Yeah, it's mine. It's right under me. It's right under my ear.
Oh right. Yeah, I've got mine on the desk here, but it's on silent. So. In fact, it's turned off. We'll go a bit further as it's on here. I did actually use Yorkshire grit on the other one underneath, not in this bowl bit, but on the back of it. I forgot on this one, so never mind. Can't win them all, can you?
No. That was Mark just putting a picture of his tutu up on a private group that we're in.
All right.
Yes, it's vivid pink for those not
lovely. It'll match his eyes.
Able to get into it. should suit him down to the ground, particularly with his hobnails on.
Right, let's dust it off a bit. Right. Sanding sealant.
So Trevor P, is that a new one in the chat? He has a Sorby sander with the same problems.
I think I've seen him before. But
have I seen him today? If I have, I think I missed him.
I don't know.
If I have, I do apologise.
Sort of reassuring that somebody else is having the same problem.
But
no, I haven't been impressed with it, if I'm honest, because it hasn't been used that much to have worn down by that amount.
Yeah.
Well, that's that one, and then we'll do a acrylic gloss lacquer, I think, because we can.
Barry's off back to the shed. So,
Is that Barry WC or?
No, it's Barry in the shed.
In the shed, right?
Yeah.
Bye, Barry. Yeah, you've seen all the interesting bit.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's.
Personally, I think I like today's better.
I think I do actually. I'm going to swap to a different camera just so you can actually see it. Where are we? I think it's that one. Yes. Okay, we'll move that to that side. We'll hold that one up there. Yes, I think I prefer today's.
Yeah, it doesn't look so heavy.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, it's lighter. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot lighter.
It was worth the experiment, though.
Yeah.
It's
the only way you find out.
Absolutely. Yep. No, pleased with that. Right, I'm just going to give this a quick lacquer. And what I'll probably do is buff it at some later date.
Doug Miller likes them both.
Thank you, Doug.
Colin can't get on with his inertia sander.
No.
He prefers using a drill or hand.
Yeah. I use my cordless or do it by hand. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no,
I use all sorts, but the bigger stuff and the rougher stuff, I use the drill on it. The smaller stuff, I quite often just hand sand.
Yeah. Oh, that's it's washing out a bit down here, but it gets a bit more light on it.
Yeah,
I'm pleased with that. So
good. Hodge is just saying for those in the States, Louisiana natives are fond of those colours.
Oh, really? Well, that's a bit of luck then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just got Keith back up.
Oh God, you could have warned me. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant to. But I could see a small picture of you, so I could see you were respectable.
Yeah.
And I will actually put myself up here next to you.
Scary too. Yeah. Well, you've got some nice comments coming in here. Yeah.
Good.
Terry Hooper's pleased with it. Looks good. Douglas.
Oh yeah, and Barry Fitch prefers today's colouring.
Yeah, David Dedman's a nice one. Andy Martin Woody said it looks like a sunflower. Thanks for sharing. Barry Fitch has got to go. Need to get a parcel away today. Thanks, Barry, for stopping by. If I can go on to this other one.
Barry Chitty.
Yeah. If I'll just drop this in here.
David Heath. What a great surname you've got, David. Hello, Ray. Thank you very much. That's my nephew. Well done, Andy. Looking forward to when you can teach me more. I'm looking forward to teaching you more, Ray. As soon as you're allowed over here, or I can come to your new workshop, then we'll be away. No probs.
So I've just dropped in my link for Thursday night, which is the part 2 of the big bowl platter that I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, with the oysters in it. So there's that in there. So hopefully you'll come over. Some of you can come over and watch me finish that off. But good one, Andy. Nice comments in there.
Yes, there are. Sorry, I was just reading them. Yeah. No, very nice. Thank you very much, everybody. How many people have we still got?
We've still got 37 in there at the moment.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. No. Thank you very much for joining us. And hopefully, I'm not on next week. It'll be a couple of weeks, isn't it?
You're Keith? Not on for the next 2 weeks, and then you're on.
So 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks today.
Yeah, I've got to try and work this out. 11th and 18th I'm doing. Scott's doing the next 2, so I will be doing the next 2 Tuesdays.
Right.
And then after that, you and I are probably do 2, 1 in, 1 out, because Scott's doing 4 on the bounce.
Oh, right, okay.
I believe. So
okay.
What we're doing, we're sharing it out between us, so there's 3 of us running 2 slots to keep you going.
But it's giving me a chance to have a go, so thank you for that, Keith.
That's my pleasure. And the cameras have behaved after the initial flickering.
They have.
So that's settled down. So
yes, those new leads that you suggested I got have obviously made a difference. They haven't had the same problems at all with the USB 3, isn't it? They are
USB 3 instead of the original USB 1 that you had on there.
Yep.
So
it's made more difference than I ever thought it would. So thank you for that.
It appears purplish on camera, so yellow and purple are associated with Mardi Gras and one of their colleges.
All right. It is actually purple.
It's just purple and yellow.
On the one I did yesterday, it turned brown because I put yellow with it. but it is actually purple. So I'm glad somebody likes the colours. That's great. They have any significance.
And also the problem is it wasn't absolutely white ash, was it? It was coloured ash.
No, it's
so
coloured. Yeah.
you're going to get a differentiation between the colours and different tonal as well.
Yellow is one that changes very readily, doesn't it? I know if you put it on beach, it tends to go green. So
yes. Terry Hooper's off. He's in need of some lubrication.
Cheers, Terry. So am I. I'm going to go.
Yeah, thanks for coming over, mate.
Yep. Thanks, and see you soon. I hope once we're allowed to get back into club.
Yes.
Anyway, I shall press the button. So thank you very much, all of you, and good to see you all. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Christine and Michael said, very nice, Andy. You killed yourself. Am I still talking to me? I'm still in the show, so you haven't killed the show yet, Andy.
I'm there. Keith's not.